Hello property investors, welcome back. I've decided to do a tip of the day. So for each day I'm going to release a tip on property investing, might be general investing actually on stocks and shares and wealth in line with property investing, but the overall idea is to give you tips on property investing. You know, I'm trying to do this in an order that you would approach property investing. So tip number one would be, I'm hearing, and you'll see this a lot in the papers and probably general office talk, is that buy-to-let investing is dead. There's no money to be made in it, and you should look at putting your money elsewhere. To be completely blunt, it's a load of rubbish. Things have changed within the property market. We've had stamp duty, which has affected the top end of property prices and a bit of the bottom end, to be fair. We've also had the Clause 24. So Mr. Osborne, George Osborne's parting shot was to introduce Clause 24, and this year we see 100% of that relief disappearing. So the last 4 years that's changed. So any old kind of school landlords that have property in their personal name and are already 40% taxpayers will see a significant dint in their profits, to the point where houses will actually cost them money to own. So we're seeing an offload in there, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We've also seen an increase in landlord regulation as well, which I think is a good thing. Some of the rent controls I don't think will come into force, but energy efficiency, certain health and safety aspects of property is something we do anyway, as part of our management of the portfolio, and I can see it only being a good thing. One of the big whackers, I think, was the letting agencies losing the ability to charge fees. But being brutally honest, some of those were extortionate. They were too high. The people were getting charged £300 to renew contracts after 6 months each. If there was two of them, it was £600, which is scandalous, and they kind of ruined it for a lot of people from doing that. So that's gone. They've changed. So why am I saying it's rubbish that buy-to-let is dead? Well, the main thing is I've seen nearly 5% increase in rent rise over the last year, and that is mainly due down to, because of the tax changes, a lot of landlords are selling up, so that stock's disappearing. There's less available private rented properties for people. So basic supply and demand economics would prove that you can now ask for higher rent and you will get that. And I have seen that in some of our areas where we've tried the higher rent and it has worked. We don't do anything extortionate because we always want to be fair, but where we can get an extra £20-30 that may cover a majority of the maintenance, then that's what we've been doing. The other main changes, covered tax change, the stamp duty as well. You have to start now looking at some of the deals in regions where you wouldn't normally look at the deals. So the high-end ticket prices of property, there's a huge amount of stamp there. So we normally hover around between £65,000 and £120,000 when we're looking to make our purchases. Great time to invest. Interest rates are very low. Cash flow is very good. The average property before we pay any tax or maintenance, we're looking around £385 a calendar month. We do manage in-house, but again, because the interest rates are so low, the cash flow is really good, and that's one of the main points is good cash flow. And I think what will happen in the sector was, as long as you structure your business in the right way, I think there's a huge opportunity in the next 10 years. Brexit has slowed things down. House properties in general have been stagnant over the last few years, 4 years where we are. And then the last quarter, we saw a huge amount of sales go through above asking price. So we expect the economy, I would say, based on where they are in the economic cycle, the next 8 years are positive. There will be another recession. There'll be multiple recessions in my lifetime. But for the next 8 years, I do see some positive growth, good interest rates, creating good cash flow, and high rent demand. Absolutely perfect for investing. And if you've already got your money in a bank or in some of these ISAs, the returns are just not good enough to be sat there. We at the moment are getting between 20 and 25% ROI, which is kind of the equivalent comparison to what your bank would give you. So yeah, investing in buy-to-let dead, not a chance.